Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!
And we are back with a regular episode.
Regular.
Yeah. This is American Brews and Tunes. My name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
Wow, welcome back, everybody.
Regular is always a good thing to be.
Yeah, our last episode was not regular.
No.
You mean like regular when you have like a lot of fiber?
Regular BMs.
Yeah, like when you've been hitting the prunes?
Yeah.
The prune juice?
I actually bought some dates, not recently, but a while ago. Some pitted dates.
I do like.
They're pretty good.
Unless they're bad dates.
If they're bad dates, then yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, but anyways, our last episode, we were just talking about some of our favorite albums that we're listening to during quarantine.
Yes. Which was a fun episode. That was good.
It was.
It was a good time.
Now we're back with regular episodes where we review one album and one beer.
Yes.
And this is episode number 95. Ooh.
95.
95.
For all you German listeners out there.
Yes.
Who don't know English, but most countries in Europe learn English anyway.
Yeah, because
as a part of their general curriculum.
It's just a language that we refuse to not speak.
Yeah, we really do.
We're not lazy, we're just not ambitious.
I took high school German. Did you take Spanish in high school?
I took Spanish in high school, but in fourth grade, I took a couple weeks of German.
A couple weeks?
Yeah. Ein, zwei, drei.
I don't remember how to say very much. I remember how to ask how old someone is.
Die blaue Jacke.
Wie alt bist du?
Zum Geburtstag viel Glück. Enough about German.
Well, we know a lot of German from singing in choir.
Yeah, it's true.
But we don't know exactly what it means. We just know how to say it.
Tobe Welt.
Anyway, enough with that tangent.
Jesu meine Freude, meines Herzens Freude. Was it 25-minute? What was that?
Is that that's just Jesu meine Freude.
What is that thing called? It's a motet? 25-minute motet?
I think so. That's by Bach, right?
Yeah, good old J.S. Bach.
That was Dr. Bob's favorite song.
It was. The Good Doctor.
Anyway.
This episode, Jesse will be talking about an album that I recommended for him to listen to. It is the self-titled and final album from the late band Sublime.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't know who Sublime is, you probably do.
Yeah, even if you don't know,
you probably know some of their biggest songs, which are all from this album, pretty much.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's some other ones, but they're definitely their biggest songs are from this album. So yeah. I'm sure most of you, if you don't know who Sublime is, you've heard a couple songs.
Yeah. But
before we get to that,
we're going to get to the beer first, of course.
Of course.
And this week, we're going to be trying a beer from Bearded Iris, one of our favorite Nashville breweries.
Bearded Iris? I've never heard of them. We've never had that on this podcast.
Never. So it's their beer called Wavelength, and it is a double IPA.
Double IPA?
Yeah.
That's unusual for them.
Yeah, so weird. I'll bet it's hazy, too.
I don't know.
But anyway, this is says Vic's Secret, Citra, and El Dorado hops.
And what's it called for the record?
It's called Wavelength.
Wavelength.
Yes. It's 8.3% alcohol by volume, so not exactly a light beer, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty tasty because generally everything that I have had from Bearded Iris has been good.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're going to give this a pour here.
Yeah, and it is from a can. Most of their beers do come from cans, other than the select few ones they give out at their anniversary parties. Like the, what was the one we tried? Those, the Rat Tat Tat and the one-man band.
Which are in bottles. They're
the barrel-aged
only available
stouts.
then, pretty much.
And we have a couple other bottles from them that we're going to be having at some point in time here coming up soon.
Yeah, we are. The wasn't it like a sour?
We've got
something like that?
a fruited sour and also a couple other barrel-aged ones.
Yes, I forgot. We still have those.
Never forget.
We have not had them yet on the podcast.
But we will.
And we also have a couple other brews that are probably going to be aged beers that we'll have on the podcast eventually as well.
I'm going to break out an aged beer for the next episode, but we'll talk about that in a week.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
let's give it a shot. We'll first smell it.
The nose, it smells like Bearded Iris.
Yeah, it's really floral and citrusy. You can smell, it's kind of weird to say, but you can smell the creaminess of the beer.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's not weird to say that's exactly what this smells like. The creamy,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you ever are in Nashville, or if you've ever been to Bearded Iris, as soon as you walk through those front doors, it smells exactly like this.
Oh yeah,
Which is awesome.
Just a really nice smell of hops. Yeah. It's just so good.
It is hazy.
Definitely hazy.
You were right.
Yeah.
I've got a nice little bit of sediment in mine, just
probably
suspended
do a
in the
little
air. If you take a look at my glass, you can see it all just floating.
Yeah.
It's a good hazy, I don't know, yellow orangish color.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I'm sure it'll be tasty. So,
as we always say on American Brews and Tunes, down the haze hatch. Exactly as I suspected. Creamy.
Wow. Yeah, that's really creamy.
Citrusy.
It's a little bit more like intense.
Yeah.
The alcohol flavor.
It's there.
It's a little bit warmer.
It's warm
than
and going
a normal
down.
hazy IPA.
It's not as
Tasty though.
I don't want to say smooth, but it's a little bit more hoppy than some of the other hazy IPAs.
A little bit more aggressive, yeah.
Yeah, in a good way. Not like
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, it's so bitter, but you can actually taste the hops. Sometimes when you get those hazy IPAs, they really mellow out the hops. Sometimes too much.
Yeah, a lot of the hazy IPAs, they also use like fruit, like mango or like pineapple
Yeah.
or orange or something like that.
And a lot of them will
in
put
general-
lactose in for that creaminess.
Yeah,
and
so-
that can take away from the hops, but not
Yeah,
always.
yeah. So in general, a lot of hazy IPAs, you're gonna get a sweeter one, less hoppy. But I think that this one's fairly well balanced.
I agree. It's very tasty.
So Bearded Iris, another good job. Not surprising, but still
Yeah, not surprising at all.
another good job, of course.
Of course.
So let's get on to the album, shall we?
I think we shall.
So the self-titled album from Sublime is their third and final album, like you had said before. Released June 30th, 1996. The band formed in like 88 in Long Beach, California.
LBC.
LBC. The members are Bradley Noel on vocals and guitar, Eric Wilson on bass, and I believe you say his name, Bud Gaugh.
G-A-U-G-H. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Gao? I don't know.
I think it's Gaugh, but I'm also assuming.
Yeah. Good riddance.
Anyway, the album, if you don't know who Sublime is, they're very heavily like reggae and ska, punk, dub based, like a lot of Jamaican influence.
Also, a lot of punk. There's some punk influence. Too.
Yeah, there's a lot of punk influence as well.
It's
and
not on this album, but they've covered the song "Hope" by the Descendants.
Oh, really?
They've covered "We're Only Gonna Die for Our Own Arrogance" by Bad Religion.
Okay.
So they definitely
They're
have
fairly well versed. Yeah.
Yeah, they like their punk
and all of that definitely comes into play on this album.
for sure.
And I think it's actually a lot of the songs are actually a fairly good mix of all those genres.
It's a
as
good
well.
style. It's a good style of music.
And one other note before going into the tracks, the lead singer during the time of this recording had a heroin addiction that he was kind of battling, and he died before it was released.
Yeah,
so this
like a
is
month or two before it released.
Yeah, a month or two before it was released. So he never got to know the success of this album.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true or not, but I remember hearing, and this is all speculation, rumor. I've never really seen it if it's true or not, but I heard that he was having a child and or maybe had just had a child and decided he was going to do the rest of his drugs and be done with it.
And then be done with it. Yeah.
And that was too much.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, who knows? If it's true, that's really sad.
If that is true, that's very sad. Yeah.
But also, before you get into the meat of the songs, the artwork is very iconic on this one. I'm sure people have seen the album artwork for this. It's the singer Bradley's a picture of his back, and it's got Sublime tattooed across his shoulders.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of flowers around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so before I get started, I like the album.
Yeah.
After listening to it, I like it. I'm not particularly fond of all the tracks on it, but I definitely see why people like the album, why people like Sublime.
Yeah. I think this album's a couple songs too long, but I can excuse that.
Yeah.
It's got some good substance.
Yeah, same here. So let's start with track number 1, which is called Garden Grove, which is a city in California. You hear a lot of other bands from California referencing this song, or this city, quite a bit.
We had a song about it from the Mountain Goats when I reviewed that one album.
Yeah.
Talked about going to get drugs in Garden Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, maybe I would assume that's maybe where he got drugs as well.
Maybe
Who
it's
knows?
a seedy area.
Yeah, maybe a seedy area. The song, a couple of these songs on the album almost seem like they're streams of consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, I guess there's some of their writing style, like they would just jam in the studio and they just kind of like write on the fly.
Makes sense.
And so like this song is literally just him talking about things that are going on in his life, like going down to Garden Grove, the city,
Going to
and
a
just
party.
like what they're doing
Yeah.
there. It's a pretty catchy song. The last 2 minutes of the song contains samples from a song called 5 Nights of Bleeding.
I do
by
not know that song.
Linton Kwesi Johnson. There's actually quite a bit of sampling that goes on in this record.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of sampling and quite a few covers as well. But I'll touch on all that in the later songs. I did not recommend that song, but it's still pretty good though.
Yeah.
On to track number 2, which is one of the first track that I am going to recommend, which is What I Got.
Very, very popular song.
Which was one of the songs. There's two other songs that you probably know.
Yeah.
From this album, even if you haven't heard of Sublime.
Yeah.
I first heard this song on Dave Mirra's BMX game.
Dave Mirra. Didn't he pass away a couple years ago?
I don't know. Look that up.
Yeah, I'll look that up while you're continuing.
This is the quintessential Sublime song.
Yes.
This is also almost kind of a stream of consciousness song, but not really because there's still kind of a chorus, and the chorus comes back, which is "Love is what I got."
I say, remember that.
Yeah. He talks about kind of wanting to live a simple life. He talks about loving his dog Lou, which Lou the dog is a Dalmatian, and he comes up quite a bit in the other songs as well. The melody in the verses is very similar to the Beatles song "Lady Madonna."
Oh, I'm sorry to put a damper on the day. Dave Mirra did pass away.
Oh no!
He died by suicide.
Oh.
And he was
That is a
posthumously diagnosed with CTE.
Which is
That repeated concussions that a lot of football players have. Yoy.
That's tough.
That's real. And I guess he'd fractured his skull when he was 19. Took up boxing and got it hit.
Oh wow.
And I mean, he was a bike.
Was a BMX guy. Yeah.
That's really sad. I knew he had passed away, but I didn't know that. Yoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to detract from Sublime. Whew.
Well, not everything on this album is cheery either. So
it's true.
But anyway, as I was saying, the melody is very similar to "Lady Madonna" by the Beatles. Lady Madonna.
Rising.
What's that?
I was going to say rising to the street, but it's
Lady Madonna. Children at your feet. Wonder how you manage to make ends meet. And the Sublime song is early in the morning. Rising to the street.
Well, that is eerily similar. I had never thought about
it's
that.
very similar, yeah.
But not the chorus.
Not the chorus, no.
See how they fly.
Yeah, definitely
Versus
not that.
loving is what I got.
I said, remember that. Yeah, so this is just a super catchy song.
Yeah. I like the second verse was like, I don't cry when my
dog
runs away.
I don't get angry at the bills I have to pay.
I don't get angry when my mom smokes pot. Skips the bottle and goes right to the rock.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heavy drug reference.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was like a crack rock. I don't know, but it
must be.
Like they talk about some dark stuff.
Yeah, they definitely do. But yeah, that's definitely one of my recommendations. It's a fantastic song.
Oh yeah.
On to my next recommendation, which is track number 3, called "Wrong Way."
Strange song.
A very strange song.
It's so catchy.
It's really catchy. This is one of the songs where the subject matter is kind of dark in a way.
It's a really happy sounding song.
That sounds very happy, yeah.
But it's not happy.
It's basically a song about a young girl who gets put into the life of prostitution by her father.
Yoy.
And then one of her customers, after getting to know her, tries to get her out of the life, but she doesn't get out of it.
Kind of similar to Taxi Driver, starring Robert De Niro. Well, he wasn't a customer, but he saw Jodie Foster, who was a 13-year-old lady of the night, and he freed her from her prison.
Yeah. It almost seems like it's a song commenting about people who kind of grow up in that situation and they don't know anything else. They don't know any other way of life, and then basically the song title is "That's the Wrong Way."
Yeah.
And so, it's tough. It's kind of a tough subject to sing about, but
But it's so happy. Like
It's
you
such
can
a-
be sitting there dancing to the song. If you don't listen to the lyrics, you'll never
Yeah.
know. But yoy,
there's also a really cool trombone solo.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then the bass, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I'm just jamming along to the song in my head.
Yeah, it's such a catchy song. That is one of my recommendations as well. On track number 4, which is called "Same in the End."
Ooh, I like this one.
It is very good.
It's a good reggae and punk mix.
Yes, yeah,
One of the first of a few songs that are like that.
yeah. It's really fast, and then it kind of slows down for the reggae parts. It's really cool, like how they change tempos like that in the song.
Daddy was a rolling stone. Whoa!
From what I can tell, this song seems to comment on someone struggling with a vice, like no matter what that vice is.
It's all the same in the end.
Yeah, it's all the same in the end. Yeah.
Not very happy.
No, it's not, but it's really good though.
Yeah.
On to track number 5, which is definitely a heavier song. It's called April 29, 1992.
Yeah, a little relevant now.
Yeah, pretty relevant now, 18 years later.
Yeah.
But it's a song commenting on the Rodney King riots in 92 in California.
Yeah.
And probably all over the world as well. Not, maybe
that
not,
one,
maybe
that
not the
one
world.
was just L.A.
It was
The L.A.
just in
riots,
LA.
yeah. So that's, I mean, there's not really as much rioting going on now, though. I think there's more protest
It's more
than
just
riot.
protesting, yeah.
Then there was some protests, but then some
And
crazy
there was
riots.
a lot more riots.
And it was just, for the most part, I want to say, confined to L.A.
Yeah,
Don't quote me.
I don't know either.
Remember my American history class, though, I remembered the date from this because of the Sublime song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The way that they're talking about it in this song is from the perspective of someone who was poor at the time,
Yeah.
or someone who lived in the hood, as they said in the song. They say, because everybody in the hood has had it up to here. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Wait, it's getting hotter and hotter each and every year.
Getting hotter and hotter and hotter each and every year.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting hearing it from a different perspective.
They
Then,
loot some stuff.
They
Where do you think I got this guitar that you're hearing today?
yeah, they talk about robbing liquor stores. They talk about looting furniture stores.
This song's got a groove, too.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really, really chill and mellow. The music is anyway, for how heavy and kind of aggressive it is lyrically.
Yeah.
It's a really good song, though.
I like the end when he's riots in the streets of Cleveland, riot in the streets of Houston. And he
Yeah, just
lists all the
naming all cities. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Let it burn, wanna let it burn.
Yeah.
It is a jam, but it's of a dark time that's relevant
Yeah.
now.
Relevant now, yeah.
Still got issues.
Yeah. On track number 6, which is another song that you most likely know. It's called Santeria, which, if you do not know, is a Jamaican religion.
I knew
it's
that's
almost
what it
like
was, but I don't know what any specifics.
I don't know what it is either. Apparently, it's similar to Haitian voodoo, is what Wikipedia told me.
Wikipedia knows all, so I wouldn't doubt.
Who knows? But this is basically a song about someone wanting to get a girl back who, I guess, is his ex, and considering using Santeria, but he doesn't practice Santeria. He ain't got no crystal balls.
If I had $1 million, well, I'd spend it all.
And one other thing that I didn't know when I was looking at the lyrics is he uses this word "hina," which is a Hispanic slang for like girlfriend or lover.
When did he say that in the song? 'Cause I don't know if I've looked up the lyrics, so I probably misheard it and sang some different lyric.
Yeah, I think I did as well. You'll look it up later.
I'll look it up at another time. Interesting.
Spelled Jaina or sounded as an Hyna.
Like
Hina.
hyena.
Like
Hyena.
Hina.
Hyena.
So that's a song I also recommend you check out because it's very, very catchy.
Yeah, it is.
On to a song that is pretty crazy. This one, track number 7 is called Seed.
Ooh, I like this one.
It's
fast.
It's a mix of reggae and punk. The subject matter is something that's a little bit less, or a little bit more crazy, a little bit weird. He basically talks about taking a girl's virginity and planting his seed. Not exactly sure what the meaning of the song is, but that is what he talks about in the song. If you want to look into deeper meaning, you might want to, or you might not want to.
Or if you just want to rage to a fast song and then enjoy
Not even think about the lyrics.
the reggae chill chorus,
Then you can do that as
you
well.
can just rage. But yeah, that's a good one because it's got that nice little change up of style.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the other ones that changes the style up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
On to a song that's another cover. It's track number 8. It's Jailhouse.
I did not know that was a cover.
It's a song of two covers. It's a cover of two songs. One is Bob Marley and the Wailers' Jailhouse from 1965, and Tenor Saw's Roll Call,
I do not know that.
I guess. So they, it's really catchy.
Yeah.
And it's okay doing covers.
Oh yeah, there's no problemo.
In the song, it talks about Rudy's, which is a Jamaican slang for rebellious young people.
Like that's there's a
Like the Clash song, Rudy Can't Fail.
yeah. That's what I was just about to say.
Rudy can't fail. So I think it's kind of a protest song. Like it talks about like not being able to stand up to the Rudies, the rebellious young youth
The rude
of
boy.
the generation, the rude boys. Yep. It's a good song. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm on to track number 9, which is probably my least favorite song on the album.
I never make it the whole way through this.
No. It's a song called Pawn Shop.
Down here at the pawn shop. It's just over and over again.
That's
I swear
pretty
to
much the entire song, yeah. It's basically like an ode to pawn shops. And I guess it's also a slight cover of Var de Round a John Stop by the Wailing Souls, or by Wailing Souls, not the Wailing Souls. But yeah, like I said, it's definitely heavy on the reggae style. I guess it's his kind of interpretation of Var de Round a John Stop.
Yeah, but instead of that, it's a pawn shop.
Yeah, instead of that, it's a pawn shop.
Yeah, it's a very chill reggae song.
Yeah. It's like 7.5 minutes, and it's just like, man, that's a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But hey,
That's your thing? That's your thing.
I let it slide. On to track number 10, which is a song, well, it's called Paddle Out.
It's fast, short
It's a little bit,
song,
it's a
right?
little bit faster. It has a little bit of surf rock guitars in it. And it's basically a song about all Sublime's favorite surf spots in California.
So when if I'm remembering correctly, they double his vocals in a very strange way, and it sounds weird. I think.
Maybe.
But I could be misremembering the production on this song. But if it's what I remember, they really do some strange things with his voice.
Yeah. It's a pretty catchy song, though. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about the different areas in California that they enjoy surfing.
Yeah, good place for surfing.
Yeah.
Not Nashville.
No. I don't think there's anything in the Cumberland River that you could surf.
No, you could surf the honky tonks. I don't know.
On to track number 11, which is called Ballad of Johnny Butt,
It's a goofy song.
which is also a cover.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a cover from the band Secret Hate, and
I've
it's
never heard
of
them.
the same title. And it's kind of a shorter song. Seems almost like it's kind of commenting on his heroin addiction in a way.
Yoy.
The chorus is really good. They're like, "We got a brand new dance, yeah, we gonna overcome." So it's almost like an air of positivity in there.
A slight error.
He's saying that like he's hoping that he'll overcome maybe. On to track number 12, which is a really goofy song. It's also kind of another stream of consciousness song. It's called Burritos.
Definitely stream of consciousness.
And
I think this one's very catchy, but it just goes on a little too long, in my opinion.
It is very catchy. It's literally just talking about what he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, how he just wants to stay in bed all day.
Yeah. He's literally got no motivation.
The chorus of this song mentions skanking.
Skanking. There's a lot of weird guitar solos, too.
Yeah.
He just interspliced all over the place. Yeah, it's a good song, but I think it's like a minute too long, if you ask me.
If you don't know what skanking is, it's a dance that you would do at a ska show.
Oh, yeah. If you've never done so, do so whenever you can get to shows safe again.
Skanking is pretty fun, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy doing that dance. Anyway, on to track number 13, which is kind of a different approach to their music. It's not as much reggae. It's not as much punk. It's more like alternative, like rock, in a way. Mm-hmm. Like it's a little bit heavier. And from what I can tell, the song's about someone being under his voodoo. That's
what it's called.
The track is called Under My Voodoo. So I don't know if that's like.
Well, he did the Santeria business. Now he's under the voodoo.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like.
I don't practice Santeria. You're just under my voodoo.
So yeah, I actually really like that song. It's pretty catchy. Track number 14 is called Get Ready.
Get ready, 'cause here I come.
Yeah.
So get ready. Get ready. It's a cover of that song.
Yeah, it's largely based on the song Get Ready by Frankie Paul.
Is that who wrote that song?
I guess.
Oh, I was making a joke about that song I was singing.
Oh, I don't know if that's actually how his song goes.
Oh, no, that's an old, like, Motown song or something.
But there is a song by an artist called named Frankie Paul called Get Ready, which is this song is based on.
So this actually is a
Yeah.
I was just singing a song called Get Ready. So get ready, 'cause here I come. Get ready, 'cause here I come.
That's not what this song's about.
So get ready, get ready. You've heard that song before, I guarantee.
I probably have, yeah.
I'm probably not doing it justice.
Yeah, I most likely have heard the song.
Yeah, it's a big song.
Anyway, the song talks about how they're against the criminalization of marijuana. One of the lyrics in the song, they say if they catch you smoking, they're bound to drop the dime. So I think that means drop like 10 years in prison, right? And then during the song, he's like talking to the crowd at the show, and like saying like, "Hey, which one of you people are the people who rat on us or whatever?" And he says. They wait with their fingers crossed for you to break the rules. So it seems like he's like
hypocrites,
just like saying that he is all for smoking weed.
Ahead of his time.
Yeah, a lot of people are for smoking weed now.
Yeah, well now it's decriminalized
in
a lot of places and recreationally illegal in some states.
Yep. On to track number 15. I mean, he's got two more after that.
Long album.
It's a long album. Track number 15 is called Caress Me Down.
This is a goofy song.
Which is it's a Spanglish song, so he sings in English and in Spanish.
And it's a slight cover?
It is a cover,
or a reinterpretation almost?
Well, it's a cover of a couple different people's versions of the song. The cover by the band Voodoo Glow Skulls has a song called Caress Me Down.
Uh-huh.
And then Clement Ayers... Iries has a song with the same title, Iris, something like that. So it's kind of a mix between both of those, but they kind of put their own feel on it.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure what the song's about. I think it's about a girl,
probably,
and about a whole bunch of different situations with that girl. I don't know. A lot of it's in Spanish, and I don't know what I was all talking about.
Mucho gusto, me llamo Bradley. It's a really interesting song.
yeah, it definitely is. It sounds really cool though. Like it sounds cool to hear him sing in Spanish as well.
Mm-hmm. Being a Californian, he's probably has been around Spanish. More than we have.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I don't know how big the Spanish population was in Minnesota where you grew up.
Not very big. I grew up in the suburbs.
Man, suburbs of Pittsburgh wasn't too big either.
No. On to track number 16, which is a remix of the song "What I Got." It's called "What I Got" reprise,
and it is a reprise.
It's basically an acoustic cover.
Yeah, I prefer the other version.
I prefer the original one too.
I'm not sure why they put this on here. I'm sure there's a reason, but it's not for me to know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
On to the last song, "Doing Time."
I love this song,
which is maybe their most popular song.
It's one of them. Yeah, it's up there.
This song hit number 87 on the Billboard 200.
Okay, so it's up there.
It's been covered by a lot of people, like a lot of people who do like hip hop, including Snoop Dogg.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, or
covered it this past year.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Did you know that the main melody was taken from
Gershwin?
was taken from George Gershwin's song "Summertime."
Yeah.
If you don't know who George Gershwin is, he was a composer in the early 20th century, 1916 to like 1937 or something like So he
That's-
wrote a lot of like big band stuff.
That's like a jazz standard.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of vocalists would know that.
Do.
Yeah, but
That's
then
what the
they
main
switch it
note
up
is.
big time.
Yeah.
But the very first line they sing is straight from the Gershwin song.
Yep. Summertime and the living's easy.
And then they go, Bradley's on the microphone with Ross MG. All the people in the dance will agree that we're well qualified to represent the LBC. Me and Louis. That's his dog.
Louis. There's another reference to Louis. Yep. Seems like it's a song about being he says in a bad relationship with a girl.
I love her so bad, but she treats me like shh. I don't know why they edit it there. Because they don't need to, but they do.
A lot of people speculate that it's about his relationship with drugs.
Could be. Could be.
But, who knows?
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, I guess. Yeah. That's my honorable mention. Well, actually, I'll just recommend it.
Okay.
So I have 4 recommendations. Pretty much all their singles.
All their they're singles for a reason. They're really good songs.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that he passed away before this one was released. I'm curious what would have happened otherwise.
I'm guessing they would have still probably made music.
Yeah, would it have been as successful? Maybe, probably. I don't know.
True, yeah. You always have to think about that.
Would they have made more albums and fizzled out? Because this kind of cemented them in that status, like that legend status.
Yeah, it cemented them in like greatest 90s bands or like greatest like ska, reggae, punk bands.
What if they put up like more albums and that were not good and kind of like fizzled out? And that would tarnish.
And then people would have just been like, "Man, remember Sublime in the '90s? Oh,
when they used to be so good." Yeah. But I don't ever wish that someone dies, but because he did, I think that definitely.
It definitely helped.
Different status.
Yeah, it definitely helped put them on the map. Well, maybe not on the map, but it helped cement them as legends. Mm-hmm. I overall really like this album. I always like to say if I would bring it on a road trip, I probably wouldn't bring this song on a road trip. This album on a road trip. If I had to choose like 10 albums. But if I had to make playlists for a road trip,
there'd be some stuff on here for sure. Oh yeah.
I would definitely put those on. Yeah. Especially if it was summer and it was nice out, like definitely the summer what's it called? The last song? I literally just said it. Doing Time.
Yeah.
I would definitely put that on.
Oh, that's such a good
playlist.
And I love at the very end of Doing Time, there's some clips from some of their other songs that they put in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Really,
take a
really good
tip
stuff.
from me.
Take a tip from me.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, a really good recommendation.
And I know that out of all the rest of their albums, I would say this is the best one front to back.
Yeah.
Their other albums, they do some weird stuff.
Really?
And I think their debut album, they were in school. I can't remember the name of the college they were going. Maybe Long Beach State University or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they were recording it at the college for free. I think they were just going in after hours and recording it.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Good use of time. It paid off apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of their older stuff is worth checking out. I'm sure you know a couple of the older songs, but
I think I probably do.
This is definitely, I'd say, their biggest album for sure.
Yeah, it's the one that had the most songs that I knew on it.
Yeah,
from before. So
looking forward to next week. You had recommended an album for me to listen to.
Yep.
Which was These Four Walls by We Were Promised Jetpacks.
Yeah.
Or as they would say, These Four Walls.
They're from Scotland.
Yep.
So look forward to that next week. You want to finish this beer?
Yeah, let's finish this beer.
All right.
As we always say on American Brews and Tunes, down the hatch. Once again, my name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
We'll see you next week.
Here's a theme song, it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-down.